welcome back to 971 Lounge. Today, I'm here with Chris, and we've got Caribecca with us, and we're tasting some more delicious food. So, always when we're eating, always.
Yes, of
so
course.
Caribecca, tell us, why did you start? How did you get your name? Tell us.
So essentially why I started, I reckon it's come from growing up and like home. Like family dinners was like the major thing that brought us all together. Sunday dinners was the biggest of it all, and I've always been by my dad's side in the kitchen when we were doing Sunday dinners.
So it was your dad that was the...
Oh yeah,
because more
like,
time it's the mum, isn't it?
I
Like,
know.
for me it was the mum. And
I feel like my mum will be mad at me if I ever say that.
Yeah.
So what is this your dad's recipe then?
Yeah, 100%. Especially this dish.
Sorry, Mum.
Especially this dish, because this is what was my favourite. He always used to make this as my favourite.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all come from that, the background, my love for cooking. I've always grown up in the kitchen, and I just knew I always wanted to do this at some point. In terms of the names, it was the first one that came to my mind, and then it just sounded good, like it stuck. Obviously, my name is Rebecca, and then there's the Caribbean, Caribecca.
It just flows, it clicks.
So your team is like
It looks sick too.
strictly Caribbean.
Yeah, and obviously Jamaican is my heritage.
The
and
logo
that's
itself
like,
is sick.
Yes,
I
thank
see that,
you.
but it's a little
That's
barbecue. and
logo
Jamaica,
created by
but-
Fabuloso.
Okay.
Fabulous.
Okay.
Shout him.
Little shout out. So yeah, that's just basically it.
Alright, I can't lie, I need to get tasting this food is hot. Today. Woo! Look at that steam!
Jeez.
I gotta say, this actually smells very good.
It's me hungry.
Is this, wait, hold on. Can we just deep the portion
look
size?
at yeah.
The first thing is the portion size for me, man, because
It's
more
heavy.
time you go to a restaurant or whatever, and
I left hungry and I'm
it's like they want you to buy a dessert. This just looks. This is the same way an auntie, a grandma, my mum, or your dad, of course, would just dish it out. Like,
Yeah.
boom, here's everything.
100%.
Enjoy
I mean,
yourself.
with Caribbean food, it's always quite hard to display the food nicely because we always eat in big portions.
To me, that
what
looks good. To
Looks
like,
wicked.
for Caribbean, like that, it's Caribbean food. I can smell it. Like that's my eyes, my nose.
That's right.
So what shall we taste first?
Okay, so I'll tell you what you've got first. You've got brown stew chicken, my absolute favourite.
Same.
rice and peas. You've got some plantain, not plantain.
Tell them all
Thank
again.
you, because it frustrates me.
I've always been on the plantain side. I can't even
Yeah,
lie.
No.
it's because you're African.
It's the way it's spelled.
I don't want to say
It's
it.
not mountain.
What?
Mountain. It's not
It's a
mountain.
mountain.
No one says
It's not
mountain.
It's a
They
mountain.
say mountain.
Yeah.
No, I don't say mountain. I say mountain.
Mountain.
Plantain.
Plantain.
Okay,
Plantain.
yeah.
Yeah, anyway. I'm going to say it's
And mac and
different.
cheese.
Yeah. That was nice.
Obviously, the way I like to eat it, and I'm sure you'll get to that after you've tasted everything individually, but I love to mix and match everything together.
Yeah, no.
Try not to eat all in one
I'm gonna eat it.
section.
Not enough for you,
Very much
little boy.
It's equally portioned, guys.
That's nice. It tastes like you got a little dash of salt on there as well. I can
Just
taste
salt,
that.
you know.
I can taste that.
So is it easy to get plantain in Dubai?
Well, I found where I live in Dubai, there's like a few main supermarkets that have it. You've always got Almira and Choifums that have it. I've never failed to find it there. But
Occasionally, sometimes there's plantain droughts in Dubai.
Yeah,
Don't get
there is.
twisted.
So it's like
Lockdown was the worst for it.
that. It's like
Oh
food.
my gosh, you couldn't get it. It's like,
It is food, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
true.
That's
can we
crazy.
taste-
I don't know. But because the thing is, like, I feel like being in Dubai itself, we don't really get this food as much as we do back
That's
home.
true.
You know.
definitely.
Here's like mainly Indian culture. You know, the culture is just different.
Yeah.
So like to get like all the things you need to make this dish. I mean, that's what makes it even more special out here for people watching from home. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And do you know what you just mentioned about like it being predominantly like Indian food and Asian food? That's actually what's made it possible for me to do it out here. Obviously, I've got my main spices at home. That's like the Jamaican hardcore spices, but I don't know if anyone else knows, like Jamaicans or anyone else out there, but the logo or the motto for Jamaica is out of many, one people.
Okay.
So we're in the West Indies, and so Indian food has inspired, or spices has inspired a lot of our food. So even just to make a simple curry chicken, and I don't have nothing from home, I can make it. It tastes exactly the same out here. It's just about how you put it together. You know? No, tuck in.
I know, I had to put my foot down because my hand's shaking. I just want
But don't like eat while it's hot, you know.
Yeah,
Do you know what? I was actually impressed about how quickly you made this because I was there today,
Yeah, you
and I was just dribbling, you know, in the kitchen. And
This-
you made it so quickly.
are. I know.
True. I can imagine him over. I was like, get. I was dribbling in my street.
The way I'm trying to stop
No, no one them extra seasonings.
I wouldn't even tell you if I did that.
But obviously, Chris is there today in my kitchen when I did it. Like, I wanted to do this one today for you guys from my home because that's where it started at home. But funny enough, with Caribecca starting out, it started at home with my friends as well. And you guys have all been there in that process.
Yeah.
I missed my home food, so I used to cook a lot of it at home, out here. And then before I know it, I'm there having to lock my door because everyone's coming around with their containers.
Everyone wants a food.
I'll
I'll be messaging you like, have you got any left?
That's it, done. So yeah, like that's where it all started really. Then I was like, hold on, I need to start this properly.
Trust me.
Yeah, might as well make it.
But it was bringing people together though, right?
Yeah.
Good food, good vibes.
Of course.
I like that.
Jamaican food for you.
Alright then. What do you want us to taste next?
I mean, try the mac and cheese, and then you can then after that just have
I was
everything all
hoping you'd
together.
say that.
Yeah, because you know, I can't lie, I just accidentally took a little bite of mac and cheese, but I wasn't thinking.
Accidentally.
Accidentally,
yeah.
Bro, I'm trying to get a big bit, right?
Oh, look at that.
I can't lie.
Because you gotta get this bit in.
I'm not a mac and cheese
What's
person,
this
but
called?
this
Is there a
good.
name for this bit?
Just
The
the crust.
Just the
cheese crust.
The tantalizingness.
Yum, that's part of the, that's needed there in the portion, isn't it?
That's wicked.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
wicked.
hungry right now.
Mm.
Right.
Literally, I don't even want to eat after I've
No,
cooked.
but the thing about your food is it's fresh as well. So, who do you actually cater to?
I'm glad you said it's fresh and then you asked who I cater to.
Mm.
So in terms of catering, it's essentially boat parties, yacht parties, villa parties, any kind of events or special occasion.
Yeah.
And also I'm actually, I do get hired as a private chef as well in people's homes. They want to have like a dinner party or just a dinner for a certain
Just
number of people.
lazy.
Nah.
A lot of them are just lazy as
Give me a
well.
number.
So I'll come into your
So like, it's
I'm
not.
going to their
Sorry,
homes.
it's not like you know you you get a lot of them at kitchen chefs at home and stuff who sort of just like pick up
and do like one deliveries,
like 3 days a week type of thing. So yours is not like that.
Absolutely not. And do you know what? The reason why, to be plain and simple, is that you can't cook Caribbean food in like just a small little dish and cater to one order at a time.
Do you know what? Do you find it hard if, like, say you're cooking for yourself anyway, and it's not Caribbean food, just general dinner? Do you find it hard because of your background? To just cook a portion for yourself?
Basically, when I'm cooking for myself, I'm cooking for myself, and whoever sees that I'm cooking, coming around, and that's how we finish. I never just cook like a small amount and that's it for me. There's always leftovers, or there's always people that come by and eat. That's the only way I know how to cook.
We live around the corner from each other.
I know.
I already cooked that.
I literally need to start locking
my fridge is more empty than Chris's.
My fridge is full. Don't want to listen to that.
So like
it's gonna be full now, shit.
Right.
But what? Okay, so clearly you said before you saw the demand, right? You're out here with us, obviously, we're all Afro-Caribbean, etc. So you saw the demand. But what inspired you? Like, what was it that actually drove you to say, you know what?
Actually start.
I'm gonna wake up this morning. I'm actually gonna start this business.
Yeah. So I mean, I've always wanted to do this. I didn't know. I've travelled a lot around the world, and I've always thought, whenever I'm there, I'm like, I wonder if I could see like Caribecca here, and I'm like, maybe. But when I got here, and I saw, firstly, that there weren't that many authentic Caribbean restaurants out here that makes you feel like you're at home when you're eating it. Secondly, obviously, the demand that was there. And then I just thought, let's just get going. There's no other like thing for it. I talked about it a lot. I checked the consensus with people. I talked about like, you know, do you find it worth it when you're eating out in these restaurants, and they're like, it's expensive and things like that. You know, I really did do like a bit of market research there, first-hand market research, and everyone was just like, look, if you could, I will pay all sorts of money for this food. And I was just like, okay, there we go.
So you've always actually had that idea, because you said you were traveling a bit, and that's even before you came to Dubai. You've always had the idea that one day
it's
gonna happen. Like a dream or something.
And the thing is that Dubai, when I got here, I was like, yeah, this is it.
This is the
place. Because I've been asking if anyone knows about Caribbean places, and then I got told like a couple places, and then I was just like, what do you rate it? And they were like, it's alright, like, it's Caribbean food. And I was like, I need to make a difference.
Yeah, you know I mean? I'm here to make a change.
I'm here to make a change.
And I think that's awesome, because what you're doing is, like, obviously Dubai is heavily Arab and heavily Indian, etc., and Filipino and stuff like that. You're bringing our culture to the world in a way, you know, to the other side of the world, which is so far away from our culture. And the thing is, they love it, because these Caribbean restaurants you've heard of, they're always
people are loving it.
They love it.
People love our food. And they're not filled with Caribbeans.
Yeah. Even when I was in uni and I used to cook, and all my friends come around like Aunt Caribbean, like they loved it. My first Caribecca customer, when I did the cookout this year, you helped me with that. He was Lebanese. The first one. Do you remember? I took a picture. Like, and he absolutely loved it. And there's been so many as well. I get so many orders from people that aren't from either from London or African or Caribbean that already know about it. They just want to know, they want to try it. And I know how good it is because I've grown up on it. I'm such a foodie, do you know what I mean?
I'm a foodie as well. I can't lie, I don't normally like mac and cheese that much. I'm not a cheesy person, but this is like just really good. And I just ate it with some plantain.
I need you
and
to
it tasted very nice.
Combine that.
Can we
all this little like
go on. I need to eat.
But we need to.
You got the Brownsville Chicken, which has got like peppers and onions as well in it, and then there's some potatoes. You have to have potatoes in it. Like it's like when I have my curry, I have to have potatoes in it.
No, that's fair.
So I want you to mix a little bit of everything, if you can, with the rice and peas.
Okay, I can do that.
Slightly, I'm gonna have to use my hands for the chicken. Is that a thing? Like, is that?
Hey, you're at home. You're eating at home.
Don't mind.
You do you.
I don't play still. I can't lie.
Dig in.
You know when I said I didn't need a knife? I lied.
You need it now, isn't it?
This is the type of meal that you actually just need to pray before you eat this thing. This is a blessing, fam. You know the ones.
Aww.
Yeah, man. It's beautiful. And like,
you're talking too much and not letting me actually.
There's too much to say. I'm a foodie.
I know, but I'm enjoying my flavors and I'm just trying to think about what I want to say.
Okay, sorry. Let me just enjoy it.
Take a minute.
Let me just enjoy it.
It is.
With my hands.
But you know what's funny? Like the way you guys are even responding to it, that's how it is when everyone has my food, and that's what gives me the greatest joy, like, and gives me the motivation to just keep going with it, because I just want to see that smile when everyone's eating my food.
That's
Like,
what
I
it's
love
all
to
about.
see it.
This is Brownsville Chicken is my favourite, yeah.
Is it?
Everyone
It's
cooks
mine
it
as
different.
well.
I cook it very differently to this.
Yeah.
But this is this. Yeah, he's just sour because he still hasn't tasted my cooking and he's seen that shit on
She
bread.
ain't trying to cook for me. She was complaining that she
Yeah.
had to clean my kitchen one time. Come
Well,
on,
you need
man.
to be clean your
Any-
kitchen.
Anyway, this is nice. Like the spice level
Mm.
is so nice. Like it's not too hot. It's not.
Yeah,
Like
that's
it's.
the point.
It's got
It's
the
very
kick.
good. Like I'm feeling warm, but I feel like I can just yam this whole thing at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Like I can taste the flavors. You know, some people just throw in a Scotch bonnet and they're like, yeah, love it. I'm like, but all the other spices you put in, and now I can't taste because my mouth and my lips are on fire.
That's facts.
Yeah.
That's actually
I've actually got bare saliva in my mouth where it's actually tastes.
So you said like you know you kind of make it different, and
Mm.
so basically with Brownsville Chicken, it's made in different ways. Well, there's two main different ways. There's a very savoury way,
Yeah.
and then there's the sweet way, which is more Americanized,
Yeah.
which has like a really glossy like thing. But
Yeah,
this
that's
time,
me. I'm American.
yeah, and then this is like a bit more on the savoury side, which is kind of how they really do. Even in Jamaica, when you have it, it's a lot darker than this because they really burn it. Like essentially, what it is you're burning everything and then you're cooking it down. So
Yeah.
that the flavours from that is what really gets injected into the food. But I like a little bit of the sweet and a little bit of the traditional way. So
I do
mine's
like it like
just
this.
got a little hint of the sweet, but then you're like, oh, but it's.
But it's got the spice, sweet
It's like,
and
what's
spicy.
going on?
Yeah, it's
Then
good.
that makes you want to just keep eating it, right? Because you want to know what the next taste is.
Boom.
Clean with
That's
the
what it's all about, man.
Mm.
Love it.
Good. This is what I like to hear. Do you see that silence?
Mm.
It's complete silence.
Takes a lot to shut.
I know, for you to stop talking.
I just ate some of the Brownsville chicken, rice and mac and cheese together.
All of it together.
This is the thing. Another thing that I love to combine. So when I get orders sometimes, people always say, oh, do you have a menu? And I don't have a specific menu that goes out there per se, because sometimes I get specific requests.
Okay.
But also I like to pair things in a particular way. So sometimes they're like, I don't really know much about it, so can you just give me some recommendations?
Yeah.
So I might recommend either curry chicken or curry goat, rice and peas. Mac and cheese has to go with the curry, like it has to. It just bangs. And then the coleslaw. So those would be like the things that I put together.
Infused together.
You get like, with this dish I've done the mac and cheese, rice and peas, the brown stew, and the plantain goes well with it. Same with jerk chicken, if you were to replace that with jerk chicken, jerk sauce.
To be honest, if I was catering, if I was ordering you as a caterer, I think after tasting these, I would have to order everything. Like, I'm gonna need
It has
everything.
to
I
be,
get
yeah.
that.
I need
Sometimes.
festivals, I need coleslaw, I need it all because I'm
That's
tasting.
why it's
yum, yum,
divided like this, because you can't just have one, you have to have
You have to
Yeah.
have
multiple. But what about the business side of things? Because this is an interesting thing as well. Because at the end of the day, it is a business, and for the dream to
100%.
stay alive, the business needs to stay alive, right? So how are you finding that, like challenges, etc., like in Dubai?
Well, I mean, the good thing is that I'm a businesswoman at heart, so I've had goals with this, and I've foreseen everything before it's even come into fruition. So it helps me to know that I'm on track, or where I need to step up a bit more. The challenges now, obviously, I've not done this out here in Dubai. Regulations and laws and everything is so different to home. But Dubai is what's given me the opportunity to do this and to do it properly. So I think it's been hard in terms of knowing what the specific rules, licensing and so on. It's hard, like you've got the DED, you've got the like different government bodies that you can ask questions, but you really need to speak to people that have experience in the restaurant industry, restaurateurs. So I find that it's always important to have some form of mentor or some person that advises you. So I found that somebody that's been advising me, I won't mention his name because I haven't asked for permission, but he's a massive restaurateur here. He's run and worked in and opened up the biggest restaurants that you will know out here in Dubai. And he's what kind of got me on track. And the greatest thing about Dubai is the networking, and everyone wants to help everyone. And even what you guys are doing here for me today, you know. So he gave me some recommendations. He put me in contact with the right people, with the right kitchens to start knowing what to do. But at first, I was just like, how do I
can imagine.
How do I start this? And I'm not trying to break no laws because I'm scared of the police out here. So
we ain't breaking no laws out here. Yeah, we ain't breaking.
But as far as supply and demand go, because for me it's like, you've got a product. Is it going to be easy to shift? Am I going to be able to scale this thing, right? And the thing about restaurants is, it's acknowledged widely that it's a very difficult business, particularly in Dubai, where there's so many options. You go on delivery, you go on app there.
You can get everything.
So many options.
Yeah.
But the thing about your product is, it's almost the first diverging into that market, especially because you're catering. You haven't necessarily got the huge overheads associated with the restaurant. And I think that's where you really stand out, and I really appreciate that.
And I think also, like, I do have a marketing background, but when you talk about marketing, it's not about advertisement and, you know, making things look pretty. It's actually understanding the market based on the current circumstances and situations. So my dream, and we'll talk about it a bit later, but what I really want to do is have Caribecca as a fully fledged restaurant where you can vibe, you can have dinner and stuff. But at the current times of COVID and things that have been going on, I've had to really understand the market, and I study everything, and I watch all the restaurants, the new ones. And right now, this is not the time to open a restaurant. Because if you think about it, restaurants are already going, like, they're halving the capacity. The overheads, the costs are still the same, but there's less people coming in, so they're making just about breaking even, making losses. But what's booming right now is the delivery apps, and a lot of the restaurants have gone onto delivery. So I'm going to take my time and work with that and make sure that I'm going to really profit from the opportunities that I have going into the delivery side. Because then I can take my time to reach the restaurant goals, you know what I mean?
Of course.
Which is exciting as well. It's an exciting movement that you're going towards. So when you do get to that step, obviously, I'm now, but when you get to that restaurant stage and all of this, obviously we said there are a few restaurants out there, so what is making you really different, stand up from the others?
Well, before we even start about that, like, in terms of the food itself, and that is absolutely nothing on any of the other restaurants out here, because I'll still go, have a good time, you know. I'm my biggest critic, so of course I'm going to be criticising as well. But it's the authenticity of this food. When you're at home, you feel like you are back home. I feel like I'm back in Jamaica. Even I get shocked by my food every time I try it. So you can imagine everyone else. So that's what sets me apart. This is actually home food. And everyone has exactly the same response. Then when you move on to what else is different, is that this is something that's come from my passion and my heart from when I was a kid. So I already explained about, you know, being at my dad's side. You know, when I tell you about the vision I have for Caribecca, it's all family based. It all comes from the Hall family. I have to say Hall, because when I say that quickly, people think I'm saying something else.
As in her last name, as in her family.
Hall, family name. This all comes from that. All the Halls are cooks and have grown up like that. Do you know what I mean? And there's been a whole line of it, and even at home, everyone's been getting involved. Everyone's supported this. And all of this is, you know, I want to build a legacy here. This is going to go on to my kids. I've got so many plans of what I'm going to do going further. And just a little snippet, which I'm happy to share because no one's going to know, no one's going to be able to replicate this in that sense, is the way I envisage, and I really can't wait to see this happen because I'm saying it now, so I've got to make it happen. The whole of the way you're going to see the restaurant when you walk in is going to be the outside of my grandma's house in Jamaica in the countryside. You've got the little veranda,
that's actually so
terrace
sweet.
roofs. So it's going to be a home because this is home food, and I share all my love when I'm cooking. I never do a quick dish dash thing. So you're going to walk in and then you're going to see the veranda, you're going to step through. It's going to have the history of the Hall family, it's going to have the history of Jamaica, and you know the motto of out of many one people. It's going to talk about all the other cuisines that are involved. You've got Indian Jamaicans, you've got Irish Jamaicans, Scottish, you've got have you ever had a Chinese person with a Jamaican accent?
Mad.
It's the mad part. It blows me away. There's
I'm probably going to have to YouTube this after, you know.
You have to.
Definitely.
Every time I hear it, it blows me away. So I really want to educate people because it's one thing, everyone just goes, oh, Caribbean food, what? You got jerk chicken, curry goat. What else do you know?
Yeah.
Not much. And I'm still learning as
Hold
well.
on, sorry, I'm just getting my head over the Chinese. So is this like, are you saying not only are they Chinese Jamaicans, but they'll also infuse the dishes, their Chinese dishes, with a Jamaican egg?
Oh.
I need to taste this as
Are
well.
you serious?
I need to taste
Let me not even talk about that too much because that comes into my plans for the future.
Okay, we
But you guys will.
Okay.
I'm going to take you on a journey.
Listen,
it's not
we're
just going and dining.
Yeah.
I'm taking you on the whole journey,
Listen.
and you will learn about that one.
We're ready for that. We're ready. I hope you're ready for that. 'cause
I'm
we're
excited to share that. You
100%.
better be ready for
Oh,
it.
I
You
love
know?
Chinese food shit.
I can't even express it. I can't even express it.
Yeah.
It blows your mind.
That's wicked. That's wicked stuff.
Thank you so much for joining us today. This
Thank you for
food,
having
obviously,
me.
I haven't finished it on camera, but I will be.
Listen, I'm not even trying to. I'm
Sorry,
thinking
cameraman, I
about
can't share either. But obviously, Caribecca is here. She said that she doesn't just cater to one person, and she also said that she cooks with love. She cooks to bring people together, which is maybe one of the reasons that she wants to serve you as a caterer, to bring you all together and share love like she shared love to the food. So follow on her Instagram, Caribecca, and hit her up. Hit her
Thank you
up.
so much for having me, guys.
You're actually too good.